about it but did nothing about it. From the Prime Minister to the External Affairs Minister, the BJP has deployed its top guns to take on the Congress and the DMK.
Political row over Katchatheevu Island escalates. External Affairs Minister S Jaishankar on Monday launched a scathing critique of the Congress and DMK, claiming the island was ceded to Sri Lanka during Indira Gandhi's tenure. Jaishankar emphasized India's long-standing historical claims to Katchatheevu and alleged the Congress had dismissed it as an island of little importance.
Whether it was Pandit Nehru or whether it was Indira Gandhi, this very dismissive attitude, this little rock, this small island of no importance, this was the historic Congress attitude towards Katchatheevu.
The controversy erupted after an RTI reply to Tamil Nadu BJP chief Annamalai said that the transfer occurred in 1974. It claimed then Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M Karunanidhi was informed about the decision. The RTI reply shed light on Prime Minister Nehru's stance on the matter, as he deemed the island of little strategic importance. Prime Minister Narendra Modi cited the RTI response to target the opposition at a rally in Meerut on Sunday.
कांग्रेस ने 4-5 दशक पहले कह दिया कि ये द्वीप तो गैर जरूरी है। ये कांग्रेस के लोगों ने, इंडियन अलायंस के साथियों ने मां भारती का एक अंग काट दिया।
2015. The opposition hit back at the BJP. Shiv Sena UBT MP Priyanka Chaturvedi tweeted an earlier RTI reply by the Modi government in 2015, which stated that the island was neither ceded or acquired.
I'll only go by the RTI statement that was responded to by the Ministry of External Affairs. Neither the Katchatheevu Island has been acquired or ceded by India. So that clearly shows that there has been a shift in stance from 2015 to 2024 by Indian government, and that is unfortunate. Today, Prime Minister is using it for his political narrative, for his political gain to get a few seats in Tamil Nadu.
The Congress and DMK accused the BJP of raking up old issues for political gains.
Why are you raking up something after 50 years? Why are you not talking about what happened in the last 2-3 years?
For the past 10 years, the government is run by the BJP. And Jaishankar is the External Affairs Minister. Had he ever, and our leader had written many letters to him. He himself accepts that he had sent 21 letters to my CM. Has he ever stated that they will go have a talk with the Sri Lankan government and take back Katchatheevu?
Tamil Nadu is crucial for the BJP to meet their target set for the NDA to win 400 Lok Sabha seats. Will the Katchatheevu issue give the BJP the momentum it is looking for in the southern state? Bureau Report, India Today.
Here's what I hope to do on the NewsTrack tonight. We will first look at the current controversy of what's happening in Katchatheevu and try and understand whether indeed the Congress is to blame, because this is not a new issue. Plus, the Prime Minister himself has spoken about this in the past, but it's clearly an emotive issue which the BJP is trying to tap into. So how will that likely play out? And what might happen in the first phase, which is where Tamil Nadu goes to polls on the 19th of April, and what should we expect on the 4th of June? The BJP has really staked a lot of political equity. Are they picking up something on the ground which isn't visible on the surface just yet, because the Prime Minister is spending his own time, energy, making this massive effort? Will it result in electoral gain? So we look at what's happened in Tamil Nadu in the past elections. We look at what's happening now and try and understand through our analysis with the Data Intelligence Unit on what the various scenarios could be on the 4th of June. But before all of that, I want to go across to former Home and Finance Minister P. Chidambaram. He's fought many times from Shivaganga in Tamil Nadu, one of the senior political figures in the state, understands the politics. Mr. Chidambaram, thank you very much for joining me on the NewsTrack. I want to ask you about the Prime Minister's attack on Katchatheevu, attacking the Indira Gandhi government for giving away this important island in the mid-1970s to the Sri Lankans, saying that this is a betrayal. You ceded national sovereignty on this island, didn't realize the strategic value. Our fishermen are now having to suffer because of the omission and commission of the Congress government. How do you respond as a leader from Tamil Nadu, as a senior minister in the former UPA government? How do you respond, Mr. Chidambaram, to the Prime Minister's charge?
I think this is one of the rare occasions where the Honorable Prime Minister has not done his homework. Please advise him to ask for the RTI reply by the Ministry of External Affairs dated 27 January 2015. I believe on that day, Mr. Jaishankar was the Foreign Secretary. To an RTI question on the state of Katchatheevu, it's Katchatheevu, and the implications, the Ministry of External Affairs of the government of Mr. Narendra Modi replied that after negotiations it was agreed in 1974 and 1976 that the little tiny island fell on the Sri Lankan side of the international border line. And therefore, and I'm using the words, there was no question of ceding, C-E-D-I-N-G, ceding any territory of India to Sri Lanka. This reply must have been approved by the Foreign Secretary. Now what has happened in the last 8 years, that suddenly Mr. Jaishankar has advised the Prime Minister, presumably advised the Prime Minister, to raise the issue of Katchatheevu, and he himself addresses a press conference, complete ignorance of the reply of his own ministry on 27/1/2015. Please understand the background of Katchatheevu. It's a tiny island. It is an island of about 1.9 square kilometers. It is not a fishing harbor, it is not a fishing base. It's a tiny island floating on the sea between India and Sri Lanka. The Indian fishermen are not arrested from that island. The Indian fishermen are arrested on the ground, the alleged ground, that they have crossed the international border in the high seas. India also arrests Sri Lankan fishermen on the ground that they have crossed the international border line. Now this has been going on for 50 years, and every government has intervened and rescued our fishermen, just as the Sri Lankan government has intervened and rescued its fishermen. This has been going on in every government since Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, Narasimha Rao, Deva Gowda, Gujarat, Dr. Manmohan Singh, Mr. Vajpayee, and even under Mr. Modi. Mr. Modi has been in power since 2014. How many times have Indian fishermen been arrested? And how many times have Sri Lankan fishermen been arrested on the high seas, on the alleged ground that they have crossed the international border? The international border is not a land border. You can't mark it by stones or signposts. It is a notional border. It's an invisible border. And fishermen do stray and they are arrested. And we have rescued them every time. What is the sudden issue? What is the sudden provocation to raise it in the middle of an election campaign?
No, because an election, a very important election, is around the corner. B, the BJP is making a lot of effort in this election to try and break the chokehold of the Dravidian parties over Tamil Nadu politics, and the Prime Minister clearly seems to think that this is an issue which has electoral relevance and traction in Tamil Nadu, which is why he's taken it up in this big way, in the hope that it resonates, it puts the Congress and the DMK on the back foot and gives the BJP something with which they can make a mark in the minds and hearts of the voters of Tamil Nadu.
You have admitted or you have conceded that this is being raised purely for electoral reasons. The BJP may make a big issue out of this, it will get a big zero at the elections.
No, but the fact is that the BJP is trying something big here. Just purely from a data cephalogy analysis perspective, they are looking at the current state of Tamil Nadu politics, which is largely Dravidian DMK, and they seem to believe that they can rise above this by ceding or invoking re-energizing Hindutva pride, making people feel that they can rise above local Dravidian affiliations and vote for a larger national cause from Kashi to Sangam. The whole idea is that Tamil Sangam, Kashi, they're trying to link the whole thing in a way that the politics of Tamil Nadu comes closer to the politics of states in the heartland.
Sitting in Delhi, if you want to believe the yarn that is spun by the BJP, you're welcome to do that. I am sitting in Tamil Nadu. I am intimately aware of the situation on the ground. The BJP will get a big zero in Tamil Nadu in terms of seats. Its vote share may increase because it's got a couple of allies, but I'm pretty confident they will not win any seat.
No, but I want to draw you, Mr. Chidambaram, into the effort that is at play, because the Prime Minister himself, just look at more than 7 days he spent just in Tamil Nadu at a time when he could be campaigning in other parts of the country as well. And unless they saw some purchase, some traction, some hope, he wouldn't make that effort, right? Very clearly. So the idea is that you can get people in Tamil Nadu to rise above this Dravidian binary AIDMK versus the DMK. And it's a deeply religious society where Hindutva hasn't been the dominant theme, but Hinduism is strong, and they're hoping to tap into that to break the mold of Dravidian politics. That's the big idea. Do you see it play? Do you think that by 2031, as the BJP thinks that BJP could be a formidable force in Tamil Nadu politics, Mr. Chidambaram?
They are welcome to their grandiose dreams. The Hindu identity in Tamil Nadu is very different from the Hindu identity in northern Hindi-speaking states. Our Hindu identity is secular. Our Hindu identity embraces all castes. Our Hindu identity does not discriminate against Muslims and Christians. In Tamil Nadu, the Christians, Muslims, Hindus and other communities nearly all dress alike, eat the same food. In fact, when I hold a party meeting, I cannot distinguish between one worker or another worker on the ground he's a Hindu or Muslim or Christian. We live together. That is the way the Tamil society is worked, and we know that the BJP is trying to intrude into this haven of brotherhood and peace with its divisive slogans. At every meeting, we are warning against the BJP's divisive agenda, its hate campaigns, its hate speeches, its attempt to divide Hindus and Muslims, Hindus and Christians, and its ravages against Muslim places of worship and Christian places of worship. That is point one. The second one we're pointing out is that the BJP is driven by an authoritarian goal. It's clear the kind of repression that they've unleashed against the opposition parties, and I can list a whole lot of them, the latest being the humongous tax demands on the Congress party. The idea is to cripple every Congress party. Congress Mukt Bharat is being seen. They were saying it in words, now they are putting it in action. But it's not easy to quell a 139-year-old party by these inspired actions. We will resist them, and the people of Tamil Nadu are ready to resist the BJP's intrusion.
Mr. Chidambaram, thank you for joining us with your perspective on the NewsTrack. Appreciate it. Thank you, sir. I want to now zoom out and look at that big question. The BJP is making a concerted effort to make inroads in Tamil Nadu. Make no mistake about that. Will this pitched campaign led by the Prime Minister yield some results in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections? Is this really about the 2031 assembly elections, like just much further down in time to try and build up the party in the long run? Or will there be some purchase in this Lok Sabha campaign as well? The India Data Intelligence Unit has done some scenario mapping. We will take you through what the various scenarios could be, the emerging political configuration in the state and the impact that could have on polling day. But before that, let me introduce you to the guests who are joining me on this broadcast. A. Sarvanan is a spokesperson of the DMK. Narayan Tirupati is the Vice President of the BJP in Tamil Nadu. Mohan Kumaramangalam is a spokesperson of the Congress. Sumant Raman is a leading political analyst in Tamil Nadu, and Shankar Iyer joins us, political author, columnist and economist. Very sharp brain on what's happening in the electoral battlefield. Let me just do one thing first. I want to go across and show you the baseline figures. So the vote share, seat share figures for the various political formations in the past few elections to give you a sense of where the electoral battle starts from and why the BJP is really making a very audacious effort, because given how low they are, to rise and climb and actually make a difference will require a Herculean effort. So here's where things stand. What you're looking at first are the vote share numbers for the various parties. Now if you see, the BJP has just got a low single digits vote share. So 4% for the party in 2019, 6% in 2014, 2% in 2009, 5% in 2004 and 7% in 1999. So this is a party that's really just been in single digits. Now the Congress has been largely in double digits, but that's also because they're in alliance with the DMK. When the Congress is alone, it has just say about a 4% vote share. When it is an alliance, then it is in the double digits, at least 11 in 1999, going up to 15% in 2009 and 13% in the last elections. The big vote share, and which is where the BJP is making this effort, the big pie of votes that's up for grabs are the votes of Jayalalitha's party, the AIADMK. With Jayalalitha no longer in the fray, the BJP thinks that's the vote they can tap into. So the AIADMK's highest vote share was in 2014 when the party had 45% of the votes. That time the DMK was down to 24. But because the party didn't hold together in the way that it did when Jayalalitha was together, that vote share crashed from 45 to 19% in the 2019 Lok Sabha elections. Otherwise, it's kind of been in the 20s, 23, 26, 30. So it's roughly been in the mid-20s. But as of now, it's down to below 20%. It's at 19%. So that 19% is what the BJP is trying to poach on. The DMK has also been a party with a vote share consistently in the mid-20s, so from about 23 to 25. That's been the average vote share, except that in 2019, the vote share jumped up to 34. So the DMK went up, the AIDMK went down, and the DMK had a vote share of 34%. The PMK of Amumani Ramdas is in alliance with the BJP. So these two parties are fighting together. So they hope that they have about 10% votes at the starting point, and the others are at 25. Let's take a look at the seat share figures, and after that we'll do some scenario mapping. But here are the seat share figures. So the DMK's best seat share has been 37 in 2014, crashed to just 1 in 2019. That's the AIDMK. The DMK was at 24 in 2019. So wild swings. So if you see the AIDMK crashing, so it's a state which has seen wild swings, but the swings have largely in the past few decades been between the AIDMK and the DMK. There hasn't been a force like the BJP, a national force, which is making this kind of effort. And the BJP, as I said, has hardly had any purchase. So they just had one seat in 2014, and will someone like an Annamalai open the party's account in Tamil Nadu? So those are the things that are really up for grabs. Let me get opening comments from all our guests, and then we'll come back and do the scenario mapping. So I want to go across to Shankar Iyer first. Shankar, you're seeing this massive effort by the Prime Minister and the BJP in Tamil Nadu. Are they feeling that there is something happening in Tamil society which will give them a fillip on the 19th of April? Or is this really a long game that the BJP is playing, looking at 2 assembly elections from now?
Well, you have to understand the personality of Narendra Modi to sort of analyze this. Narendra Modi is invested in the process. So he's going to back himself, put his own efforts at everything. As a party, the BJP believes in, since we are in a bull run in the stock market, let me use an analogy. They believe in systematic investment plans or SIPs. And so they play thematic, their investments are thematic. This issue of Katchatheevu, for instance, is playing out in the southern parts of Tamil Nadu. They have a traction in that southern part, so they want to consolidate it. If you look at it, I mean, you do a lot of data mapping, Rahul. If you look at the issue, every time it comes up in the national radar, it is normally near an election. This issue, the agreement was signed between 74 and 76. There was an opposition government, 77 to 80, where Mr. Vajpayee was the External Affairs Minister. Did it get raised there? No. In 1991, the Tamil Nadu Legislative Assembly passed a resolution. Did it get restored after that? No. It cut to, I mean, you can cut to 2015, you can cut to 2014, Jayalalitha writing a 4-page letter to the Prime Minister. Back to 2022, when India was helping Sri Lanka come out of its bankruptcy. The problem with Indian politics is that issues that matter come up as item songs during the elections. This issue, if the government is keen about it, is serious about it, can be negotiated. So there are two things that you have to do a trade-off. And in the 74-76 trade-off, they got the Wedge Back Island for whatever strategic reasons. Is there a strategic call for retaining Katchatheevu or getting it back? The second is, what is the language of the 74-76 agreement? Does it say ceding? All of these issues are not at play. What is at play is emotions. And so the Prime Minister is very good at it. He's found some sentiment, or some traction about this issue, and he's sort of backing himself on this.
Okay, Sumant Raman, do you think that there is adequate purchase? Does this Katchatheevu issue help the BJP gain more votes in southern Tamil Nadu, especially in the coastal districts? Or do you think it's too old, too buried in the past, or are emotions now running high on the back of what the Prime Minister is saying and trying to do?
Rahul, I really would like to meet the person in the BJP who actually suggested this as a strategy, to be used before the election. This is an issue which had traction maybe 15 years ago or 20 years ago, when the Sri Lankan Tamil issue was in focus and our fishermen were being shot by the Sri Lankan Navy. So at that point, it had traction. After that, after 2009, it has got absolutely no traction in Tamil Nadu. And most people in Tamil Nadu understand that this matter is closed. Now, we can go back in history and argue whether, Katchatheevu was a part of India. Should it have been, once it was part of the Raja of Ramnad's kingdom? Why was it not considered a part of India and all that? But the point is that in 1974, Mrs. Gandhi's government clearly said that we are not ceding Indian territory. And that is exactly what Mr. Jaishankar, in his then avatar as Foreign Secretary, has replied in 2015, which is what Mr. Chidambaram said. So it was not considered to be sovereign Indian territory. Therefore, there was no territory which was given away. They were redrawing the international maritime boundary line in 1974, and they decided that Wedge Bank would come to India and Katchatheevu would go to Sri Lanka. And another reason was that Mrs. Gandhi did not want international waters. By leaving Katchatheevu in no man's land, that would have continued to remain as international waters. Chinese ships could have come, American ships could have come. And at that point of time, Mrs. Gandhi was not keen on having that complication, and Sri Lanka was seen as a very friendly neighbor. So today we can say anything we like, but Mr. Jaishankar should put forth that document which showed that Katchatheevu was an integral part of sovereign Indian territory when it was ceded away. Otherwise, you cannot cede to somebody what does not actually belong to you.
Okay, Saravanan, from the DMK's perspective, you're facing a multi-pronged attack. First, the might of the BJP's electoral machine, and we've seen that in a state like Tripura, where they barely had a base, they were able to go from 2 to almost 50%. Even in West Bengal, where the party was just very small, insignificant, they rose to 70 plus seats, became a significant player. They seem to believe that they can pull this off in Tamil Nadu next. Even if not in this election, in 2 elections from now, they think that they're here to play the long game and they can shake the Dravidian chokehold over Tamil Nadu politics.
See, it's not possible for the BJP to take off this Dravidian strangle in the next 50 years too, because the policies followed by the BJP is inimical to the interest and welfare of the people of Tamil Nadu. I can cite an example. There was two floods which ravaged North Tamil Nadu and South Tamil Nadu. The Prime Minister comes here and says, the government did not, the Tamil Nadu DMK government did not do a proper work. They did not handle flood in a proper way. We gave enough warnings. But what did the Central Committee say? The Central Committee said it paid encomiums to the Tamil Nadu government and said that it was handled in a great way. The officials and the government machinery was working in tandem and they did a great job. So who is the Prime Minister contradicting? And the relief amount, that same Central Committee has given a report. What should the Union government do? They should release the relief amount. Did they do that? They did not do that. Why have they not done that? They know if they give the relief amount, they may get some goodwill. So even for the sake of votes, they don't want to do anything good for the people of Tamil Nadu. AIMS in Madurai, that is the only AIMS in the country which has not been built yet. Only 18 crores have been allocated so far. They know bringing an AIMS here will create goodwill. Oh, even if we get goodwill, we will not do anything good for the people of Tamil Nadu. The Chief Minister, our leader, Mr. M.K. Stalin, has asked a pertinent question. In the last 10 years, what is a single scheme, a special scheme that has been brought in to the state of Tamil Nadu by the BJP government? The answer is zero. They have not done anything. And Mr. P. Chidambaram has clarified with regard to this Katchatheevu, and Mr. Sumant Raman has also put it very succinctly. The question is this. Does the Prime Minister really think that by raking up this Katchatheevu issue, he is going to get some votes? That is pathetic. You may think in the studios and in the Twitter, it may seem like a burning issue, but the people there in the fishing hamlets are worried about the LPG cylinder price, which is now what, 1,000 rupees, and they are not even getting the subsidy of 200 rupees, which is not credited into their accounts. They are worried when they go to the price they pay for the diesel and the petrol they put is really bothering them. This is the issue.
No, but let's also keep in mind, Mohan Kumar Mangalam, that this BJP has done this in the past. I saw you snigger when I mentioned Tripura or West Bengal, but those were states not seen as being, typical territory for the BJP, as also was Assam, and they were able to rewrite the electoral rules of states like Assam, West Bengal, Tripura, and they seem to think they can do it in Tamil Nadu as well.
I don't think they rewrote the rules in as much as they made acquisitions of cadre and party leaders who were willing to be acquired. So both in West Bengal and the left, they grew, and Tripura, they grew because they decimated the left. So the left's entire cadre, all its leaders just migrated to BJP. I will say that the BJP in alliances, and those are not two good examples, Rahul. I'll give you better examples. In Maharashtra, for example, they were a junior partner to the Shiv Sena for a long time and slowly grew on their backs. I think they tried to do the same thing with ADMK. They held out on the many cases of corruption that the ADMK leaders had and sort of were using it in some way to twist their arm while staying with them and trying to growing at their expense. But I think the ADMK leadership got wise to their plan and immediately cut ties with them. So now they're sort of left at the altar without any alliance partner of repute who has, a Tamil Nadu-wide vote bank and any real issues to talk about, which is why they're going to do horribly in this election. I think had they managed to keep ADMK around longer, maybe they could have played the same game that they had played in Maharashtra and would have ended up somewhere in a more...
Narayan Tirupati of the BJP is with us. The guests who've spoken so far don't seem to think that Katchatheevu is much of an issue at this moment. It used to be an issue in the past, they claim. But at this moment, they're saying that there isn't that much purchase and it may not yield the kind of results given the kind of equity that the BJP is investing in this. Mr. Tirupati.
No, Rahul, I'm really sorry. First of all, I apologize for not joining through video due to traffic. I could not do it. See, if these people say it, this is laughable. For the past so many years, these people have been saying that DMK particularly and the Congress, VCK, everyone was saying that we should retrieve Katchatheevu and the BJP has not done anything on that. But the truth of the thing is that the fact of the matter is these people have pledged it to Sri Lanka for I don't know for what purpose, what they have got. It is very clear that the DMK chief, Mr. Karunanidhi, in 1974 has pledged it to Mrs. Indira Gandhi, and for what reasons known to them only, they have done it. And today, Rahul, Mr. Chidambaram and Mr. Jairam Ramesh have tweeted saying that it was done in exchange of 6 lakhs Tamilians. That is what they have tweeted. You please go and see. And that is totally wrong. With huge tension they have done it, because that happened in 1964, at least a decade back, 10 years before 1974. It was Shastri's Rimava Pact. So it very clearly says that they have messed it up. They have messed it up and they are trying to somehow, patch it up. That is what Mr. Chidambaram and Jairam Ramesh are trying to do. And history definitely will not forgive them. First, the Congress and the DMK has to apologize for unnecessarily giving this
okay,
piece of
both
land
Sarvanand
to Sri Lanka.
and Kumaramangalam want to respond. So Sarvanand, you first, very brief, because remember the focus for me really is that scenario mapping that we worked very hard on. So I want to go there, but a very quick response. Sarvanand, first you.
Yeah, see, that's what. The question is this. The BJP promised that they will retrieve Katchatheevu. What have they done in the last 10 years? They will not do anything, because their interest, the PMO spoke to the Sri Lankan Electricity Board to get a contract for Mr. Adani. Then how do you think that they can? 2014, yes, it was an historical wrong. Katchatheevu should not have been ceded. It was ceded away. What did you say and come to power? People threw away Congress only because they thought they were not good. And if you are now again coming and blaming Congress, you are worse than Congress. Why should people vote for you again? You are not even able to maintain your words. You are not even able to maintain whatever you have said, and you are leaking the internal documents just because you may get a few votes. What does it say about the integrity of your officers and this, the way they have released this RTA document? The RTA documents applied on March 5th, came into possession of Mr. Annamalai on March 12th. And why was he waiting for 18 days? Because he was waiting for a politically opportunistic time. Is this what someone who is patriotic, who wants to expose any wrongdoing will do? So what is his interest? His interest is political. Does he think the people of Tamil Nadu are fools to believe this shenanigans? The union government is there, and one leader will go apply, and the External Affairs Minister, who is in control of all the documents, will come and speak about this document. This is a big charade, and people will see through.
I want to shift our focus now to some scenario mapping. So the India Today Data Intelligence Unit worked really hard to look at how vote shares could potentially move in Tamil Nadu and the various scenarios that emerged. So we worked with political analyst Amitabh Tiwari for this. Let me take you through how the vote shares stand just at this moment, and then I'll build out two kinds of scenarios. Because scenario one is where the BJP gains at the expense of, can we just see the vote share figures before we see this? Where scenario one is where the BJP gains at the expense of the AIDMK, and scenario two is where the BJP gains at the expense of the AIDMK and also breaks into the chokehold of the India Alliance vote share. So here's where things stand. Remember, the DMK and the Congress are in partnership. So the DMK was at 34% vote, 13 for the Congress. So that's 47 straight up. The left parties have about 4%. So that's 50 plus 51 already. So their starting point is 50 plus. AIDMK is at 19. You've got the BJP and the PMK in alliance. So that's 9% vote share. What's up for grab potentially is some part of this 19. Now let's look at the two scenarios. And now you'll get a sense of the challenge for the BJP because of how low they start. They're starting essentially just at about 10%. Now, if the BJP gains at the expense of the AIDMK, okay? Now just bear with me as I say this. If the gains of the BJP are largely coming at the expense of the AIDMK, then nothing much changes. The DMK alliance was at 38, AIDMK had 1. Now, if 1/3 of the AIDMK vote switches to the NDA, so bear with me as I say this, 1/3 of that 19%, if it switches to the NDA, it still doesn't change the seat breakup of Tamil Nadu. If 2/3 of the NDA vote comes from the AIDMK, the additional vote, so if the NDA is able to break away 2/3 of the AIDMK vote, it still doesn't change the seat scenario in Tamil Nadu. It doesn't change the seat scenario. Remember, also because the India Alliance is already 50 plus. So even if you're taking votes away, your vote share of course goes up from 4, the BJP could go 10 plus, the NDA could be say 20, but it doesn't change much. Even if, and this is the third scenario, even if the NDA, which is the BJP and the PMK, takes about 2/3 of the vote of the AIADMK, it still doesn't change the seat scenario in Tamil Nadu. So just breaking into the AIADMK vote share is not enough for the NDA to do well. What also, so two things need to happen. One, Palanisani's party, the AIADMK, needs to crash. The BJP needs to go up if they have to do well, but that's not enough to change the seat scenario. That's only enough to change the vote scenario. The second thing that needs to happen is that the BJP also needs to pull votes away from Sarvanand's party, the DMK. So let me now show you the second scenario mapping. Now, if in addition to taking votes away from the AIADMK, they're able to pull, say, 10% vote of the India Alliance. Of the India Alliance is 50, they pull, say, 10 away, and the India Alliance comes down to 10. This is the actual from 2019. In scenario 1, you've got 1/3 of the AIADMK vote share plus 10% of the India Alliance vote share. That's equal to 27% vote share for the NDA, but it still gives them only one seat. Just gives them one seat, even if they take away 1/3 of the AIADMK vote. If they take away half the AIADMK vote and they get, say, 10% from the India Alliance, so the NDA then is at about 30% vote share, then they get 3 seats. So 3 for the NDA and 36 for the India Alliance, and then the AIADMK is down to a rump. The last scenario, which is a highly optimistic scenario from the BJP's perspective, if at all it comes to be true, if they take 2/3 of the vote of the AIADMK, so if they take 2/3 of the AIADMK's vote and they take 10% of the vote of the India Alliance, then the NDA is at 34% vote share and they get about 7 seats. So 7 is like the height of optimism. That's the maximum that could possibly happen. 3 is like a mid figure where if you take away half the AIADMK vote, 10% of the India Alliance vote, then it's still 36-3 and it's 38-1 if you're able to pull only 1/3 of the vote. So it's really a big ask. Shankar Iyer, your interpretation of this data and the enormity of the challenge that confronts the BJP. You know, if it's like irrigation, since you used an analogy, if it's irrigation, this is just non-irrigated land. It's very difficult for tulips to bloom here, or for the lotus to bloom here.
Well, actually, it's rain-fed agriculture. Because, I mean, you know, if you look at the track record of the BJP over the last 20 years and particularly how they performed in the 2021 assembly elections, you know on their own where they stand. The obvious belief they have is that the Dravidian parties are split in 2 groups, pro-faith and no faith, or the atheism that DMK professes. The BJP's belief is that they can wean away some of the pro-faith votes and make a beginning here. They had an opportunity, if they really thought Katchatheevu was a material issue, while negotiating a bailout for Sri Lankan government, they could have worked out something and they could have had something to show to the Tamilian people or people in Tamil Nadu as to how they do. But the issue is really, Rahul, about cadre, about people on the ground, about the linguistic differences that have come. Remember that the DMK came to power in 1967 against the imposition of Hindi. That remains even today after 50 plus years an issue in Tamil Nadu. The second aspect is that the DMK of Tamil Nadu is a far more developed and industrialized state than the northern belt where the BJP has traction. There is a cultural issue, there is an economic issue. I think this is an uphill challenge. They are making an effort. But to come to your graphics, I mean, there are arithmetic possibilities, but as Mr. Jaitley would say, that there is also necessary the chemical connection that must happen. I think the alchemy is missing as of now. It is not visible. They may probably do better than in the past because the AIDMK is sort of floundering on the ground there.
Okay, Sumant Raman, your interpretation of these numbers and, you know, the second scenarios really deal with the vote share of the India Alliance also coming down to below 50%. Do you see that happen? Are the BJP's gains likely to come largely at the expense of the AIDMK, or could the NDA also take away a part of the India Alliance's combined vote share?
No, Rahul, I don't see any of these scenarios even realistically possible. I expect the NDA to end up somewhere around 15%, 16% vote share. If they win one seat, it would be a big, one or two seats, it would be a significant victory. But beyond that, I cannot see anything happening. The AIDMK is actually on the revival path. Over the last 1 week, they've gained very significant traction. There's a sort of aggression about the way Edappadi Palaniswamy has been campaigning around the state. So therefore, I think that is something that is it's extremely unlikely that we're going to have any of the scenarios that you had depicted. Yes, possibly winning a seat here or there. For instance, Kanyakumari would be a competitive seat. We cannot say whether the BJP will win it, but there are areas in the state where they've traditionally had influence and they've been able to win. In fact, Kanyakumari usually was won by BJP in the past, even without allies. So we have to be very clear that there will be a gain in vote share. They aren't going to win any seats to.
Sure. And the scenarios also bring that out, Narayan Tirupati. Just the challenge of the NDA picking seats. One is to pick votes, and sure, in the different scenarios, we're showing how the vote share is going up. But if you look at the first set of scenarios, even when the BJP is gaining and the NDA is gaining at the expense of the AIDMK, it's not enough to convert into seats. You need to start cutting into the vote share of the India Alliance to be able to start converting votes into seats. Narayan Tirupati.
Rahul, there are only two things.
Yes.
As if they say, no, it is not, Katchatheevu is not relevant now and it is irrelevant now. Let them say that we don't want Katchatheevu. Will the DMK and the Congress or the AIDMK will say that? That is my first question. They say that now it's a old topic, it is not relevant now. How can they say now? Let them say that we don't want Katchatheevu. It is not relevant.
No, but Shankar made that point that when you were negotiating a bailout for Sri Lanka, why didn't the BJP negotiate at that time?
Sir, please understand. It is the BJP. Now this government, this party is negotiating with the Sri Lankan government, and we assure the people of Tamil Nadu that we will definitely restore the rights of Tamil fishermen. But we want to expose these people because these people are literally backstabbing Tamils for the last 50 years, always stating that we will retrieve Katchatheevu, which they have not done, and they are the culprits.
Okay, Saravanan wants to jump in and respond to you. Saravanan?
Yes, even now. See, the question is this. What have they done in the last 10 years? He says, he is again giving a promise. The promise which has already been given is not being worked on. And now again, he does not say that he will retrieve Katchatheevu. He is saying that his party will get to the rights for the fishermen. That is not what we want. That is what I'm saying. In 2014, we voted out Congress. What have you done? You are worse than Congress. And I'm saying the most important issues concerning the state of Tamil Nadu has not been addressed by the people, by the BJP party. Yet another issue is this.
I'm a bit amused, Saravanan, that you are saying you are worse than the Congress, because for that moment, I wonder if you forgot that the Congress is now on your same side.
I know that. See, this is an argument. I'm saying in 2014, people voted out Congress because they did not fulfill their promises. They were not up to the mark.
Now, Mohan Kumaramangalam is wondering whether this is friendly fire. Worse than the Congress, he says. He's holding his head. No, sir, you already made the Freudian mistake. Let's get your alliance partner. You are worse than the Congress. Just one second. Saravanan, 1 second. I'm coming back to you. Yes, Mohan Kumaramangalam.
Listen, I think my good friend Saravanan, what he means to say is that the Congress has voted out of power.
Are you saying he doesn't have, as a lawyer, he doesn't have the ability to express himself?
No,
you're saying what he means to say?
Can I at least paraphrase what he's saying?
Yes.
And tell you that I think what he means to say, and he's making a valid point, in that we were voted out of power in 2014. Stop looking back in the past and trying to find and trying to make accusations. And why don't you talk about what your track record is? Now, Rahul, I'll make a point. You actually asked a pertinent question. The Prime Minister is going around Tamil Nadu, making a lot of visits. I think the problem is the Prime Minister is not able to establish a connect. And therefore, all the emotional issues that he's trying to rake up, whether it is the Kashi Tamil Sangam, the Sengol in Parliament, most recent Katchatheevu issue, all of these, I think you need to be a bit of an insider. You need to have some sort of connect with the people to be able to draw those emotions out. And unfortunately for the Prime Minister, he's not been able to establish that with the Tamil people at all, which is why his popularity is so low in Tamil Nadu compared to the northern states. So I think when you have a problem with the messenger itself, as a party, there's only so much you can do. And so I feel for Mr. Narayan Tirupati,
Saranan, he was trying to tell us what you were actually trying to say, suggesting that you weren't probably able to, all that fancy lawyer fees, you're not being able to communicate properly. What's going on here, Saranan?
No, Rahul, Mohan put it very appropriately, and the viewers would understand what I wanted to say. See, that apart, another important thing is this. See, he has another hit a raw nerve again. There is no messenger. We have the Prime Minister who says his entire heart is beating for the people of Tamil Nadu, but he will not speak in Tamil. He will, of course, he cannot speak in Tamil, but he will not speak in English. He will speak in Hindi. We are against Hindi imposition, and he will come here and say, I have done this and I have done that. But the facts are different. For Sanskrit, they are spending around 1,500 crores. For Tamil, they have spent how much in the last 10 years? 74 crores. So when this is the kind of partiality, when it is everybody, it is there for everyone to see, how can they walk the talk?
So far, Tamil Nadu politics has read from the Dravidian script. What Prime Minister Modi and the BJP are attempting to do is rewrite the script itself, that it won't just be Dravidian ideology that will determine what happens in Tamil Nadu, that there can be an alternative way of looking at Tamil Nadu politics. Now, whether that comes out to be true or not is really something that the voters on these 39 seats need to decide for themselves. But that's the big effort that is being made, that we'll just, rewrite the political script. They've done that to some extent in West Bengal, in Assam, in Tripura. Can they do the same in Tamil Nadu? It's a fascinating question. And as I explained to you, that it really is a very, very tall order. So it's not easily done. Make absolutely no mistake about that. But at least the effort and the intensity is there to try and make it happen. We'll see what comes of it. We'll slip into a break right now. When we come back, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal lodged in Tihar's jail number 2 until the 15th of April. Details coming up on the other side.
An unparalleled election coverage with the team that wins every election. From unmatched on-ground reporting to real-time poll updates. Stay tuned to the Maximum channel for the maximum coverage.
Platinum partner, Signature Finest Silver Elaichi, a premium product from Dilbagh.
Once again, India Today wins the best news channel of the year.
Thank you, NBA, for all of these awards, all 108 of them. But for us viewers, the greatest reward and award is your trust. We're just weeks away from a high-powered, high-pressure elections, and I know that your trust will carry us through. Thank you.
NBA Awards में हम हैं 400 पार.
Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal is now in Tihar jail. He will be in judicial custody till the 15th of April in the Liquorgate case. Kejriwal is the fourth AAP leader to land up in Tihar. He'll be lodged in jail number 2, which is where high-security convicts are kept. The Delhi CM has asked for the Bhagavad Gita, the Ramayana and the Mahabharata to be provided to him. But the big question is, can he continue to run the Delhi Sarkar from Tihar?
The Delhi Chief Minister sent to judicial custody till April 15.
लोगों का एक ही मकसद है, इनको चुनावों में उनको जेल में डालना है। देश की जनता इस तानाशाही का जवाब देगी।
The political row over his arrest in connection with the alleged Delhi liquor scam intensifies.
Can any government run from behind the bars? The whole idea of a government is it has to run according to established norms. I mean, here is a government which has one minister, three ministers already behind bars. So they can have, actually they have a quorum, they can have a cabinet meeting inside bars.
The burning question on everyone's mind, how feasible is it for a chief minister to govern while in jail? Sunil Kumar Gupta, a former superintendent of Tihar prisons in New Delhi, sheds light on the challenges Arvind Kejriwal might encounter in fulfilling his official duties while in custody. The Lieutenant Governor of Delhi is authorized to designate a facility with appropriate amenities as a prison for special cases. However, if this isn't done in Kejriwal's case, the existing restrictions outlined in the jail manual could severely impede the CM's ability to govern from within prison.
सीएम सिर्फ चलाना चाहें वो मेरे हिसाब से मुश्किल होगा, क्योंकि अगर रूल्स आप फॉलो करते हैं तो उस रूल्स में है कि एक प्रिजनर, कोई भी अंडर ट्रायल प्रिजनर है, वो 2 मुलाकातें कर सकता है अपने घर वालों से, फिर उस कोई भी कागज वो साइन करता है तो वो अंडर द सुपरविजन ऑफ सुपरिटेंडेंट जेल वो साइन करता है.
Moreover, the prison authorities are responsible for scheduling visitor meetings. Inmates are allowed to list 10 individuals they wish to meet during their confinement. Meetings are arranged via phone with only 3 visitors permitted at a time. Nevertheless, legal experts argue that an elected chief minister isn't constitutionally barred from carrying out their duties while in jail.
Because a man is in jail, and if there are certain functions which can be done or need his attention, it's always open to the courts to permit it, or even the prison authorities. The Constitution does not have a disqualification.
The decision now rests with the Delhi Lieutenant Governor to relax the restrictions and grant the Chief Minister the necessary facilities to fulfill his official obligations. Bureau Report, India Today.
This is where I wrap up the NewsTrack tonight. For your time and your trust, thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you at 8 p.m. tomorrow evening. Till then, from all of us here, goodbye, good night.